All right. Well, hello, everybody. I'm going to pin me really quick. One more second. There we go. Perfect. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another amazing empowerment week. I am so thankful that you guys took the time out of your busy schedules in your summer, in the weather, to spend a little bit of time with me and our presenters. We have a really great week planned for you. Tonight, we're going to have Jesi Stracham talking about a mindset shift. As we move on, we have some confidence coaching, some Reiki healing. We'll learn about some really good nonprofits that are in the community that help individuals with disabilities get funding and that stuff. And on Friday, we're going to end the night with me doing a nice Wheel With Me fitness workout from our app. So it's going to be a really great week. So I just want to thank you guys all so much for taking some time out of your day. So tonight we have Jesi. Jesi is running a little bit late today. She works double jobs. I like how Lenora's kind of giggling over here. She's like, no surprise. She's a busy worker, and as traffic is on a Monday, she's a couple minutes behind. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give a little bit of a start. I'm going to stall a little bit. So Jesi's going to talk about mindset shifting. So does anyone here have any experience with shifting their mindset? Any tips that they'd like to share with their group at all? Have they heard of shifting their mind, or are you just kind of like, oh, Bree, what are you talking about? Anyone want to chime in? Go ahead and raise your hand, or go ahead and unmute yourself if you want to say anything about your mindset journey. No? Well, Lenora, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Lenora.
So, I have a problem with being negative when things around me, like it's 106 outside right now, and I'm so annoyed with it, and I tend to let it creep into my whole just vibe, right? So my mindset in the morning is to close all my blinds so I don't see how hot and disgusting it is, and then say it could be worse, right? It could always be worse. I could live in 120-degree weather.
Absolutely.
Or, whatever, just drink some water, and I have to flip that switch. Otherwise I get caught up in that negativity, and I will pass it along to anybody who comes in my mind or in my way or whatever.
And on the days that you can't fight it, right? On the days where you're just kind of letting that negativity win, how does that affect your day? How does that affect your productivity, your relationships, your workout?
I lean into it hard, and I warn people, look, I'm not into this today. So you come at me with your own risk, and they usually do, and they usually push all of my buttons, and I end up being super grumpy and taking it out on them. But I give them fair warning. So it's not like they were warned. But it makes me feel yucky. At the end of the day, I'm like, I didn't accomplish anything, and I was mean to everybody, and I made a horrible dinner on purpose just to be shady, and like it's just, I didn't clean the cat box out because I didn't want to, so it makes me feel like I wasted a whole day.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest with you. Yeah,
I think we can relate to that. Rosita, you also had yourself unmuted. Did you want to share as well about a mindset shift that you had, or something that you work on?
Oh, hi. Yeah.
Hi.
I don't know. I'm pretty positive, but yeah, with being a wheelchair user now, like sometimes I get down because it's just like there's some things that are just frustrating, and and you can't control sometimes.
Absolutely.
Or like you have to adjust to that you don't realize little things that make life more difficult. Like it can be frustrating.
Oh yeah.
But having to take time out to be grateful and meditate or self-care is so important. And finding solutions. Now I'm so good at finding solutions to everything. Like the master problem solver, or how do you say ingenuity?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with things that are high, using something else, or little things like that.
Yeah. So for you personally, what was it that what was it for you that made you lean into kind of shifting that mindset? Like, was it just like you just got sick of the struggle, you got sick of the negativity like Lenora, or you just like you wanted a little bit better? Like, what was it for you that you were like, all right, I'm gonna I'm gonna use my resources, I'm gonna use the stick around me, like I'm not gonna complain, I'm gonna be resourceful. What was that shift for you?
I think I've always kind of been like that since like I've lived with a disability most of my life.
Mhm.
But like to be like kind of optimistic, I'm kind of like determined and stubborn. So I think that kind of helps too.
Yeah, we got some similarities of people leaning into the stubbornness of it, right? Like either you lean into the stubbornness of like accepting that it's going to be bad, or the stubbornness of like sitting in the misery, which, let's be real, everything takes energy, right? It's like to be in a good mood and to be in a bad mood, they both take energy. But do we know that like to be in a bad mood, it takes more energy? To be negative, it takes up more energy. It's going to drain you more.
Right.
Being mentally exhausted is so much more on your body than doing like a 4-hour workout. And it's just facts, because like your mind can't handle that kind of stuff. So that's the point of trying to shift your mindset. So if this isn't something that you guys are familiar with or that you haven't really thought of working on, so what we do in our group, through Wheel with Me, we have a couple different smaller groups. We do work on mindset. So the team, some of the people that we coach, some of our fitness members, we are really, really adamant about working on mindset, because when you're working on your mindset, you're improving your self-esteem. You're gonna feel good about the things that you're doing, and like your perception is your reality. So if you think that you're gonna have a bad day or a bad life, that's what you're creating for yourself. So we have to constantly try to flip that script. Like, yeah, we are stuck in a wheelchair. Yeah, it is really, really tough, but how can we make the best of it? How can we find those silver linings? Because when we do work on our mindset, we can learn new skills. We can accept those new challenges, just like Rosita was saying. She's like, I got sick of waiting on things. I'm just going to figure out how to work on this my own. Like, she used that ingenuity to solve those problems. She's like, I'm a master problem solver now. Before, trying to solve those problems would be really stressful and be like ripping your hair out. But now we can take a breath and be like, all right, take a second. What's worked in the past? How can I relate this to a situation that I've been in before? It's all about shifting that mindset into staying mostly positive and like working through it. We have to seek new opportunities. We have to look in places that kind of make us a little uncomfortable. My own personal development journey has not always been fun and rainbows and sunshine. Like it's been a little uncomfortable. Like when you have to look at yourself in the mirror at things that you're working on, it's not always great. You have to take the good with the bad. But when you're working on yourself, you also get some really good feedback. That's what I love about living with our next presenter, is that she's constantly giving me good feedback or bad feedback or just feedback in general. And that's what we need to keep growing. We have to be able to take constructive criticism and be like, all right, yeah, I was slacking off a little today. I can definitely do better tomorrow. And like, write that down, journal about it, figure it out a little more, So there's a lot of different ways that we can work on our mindset. And I think Jesi will probably go over that. If anyone wants to share maybe something that works for them, because I know that we have, Lenora said, closing the blinds, making her environment a little better. Rosita said, sorry, I was letting more people into the waiting room. She was saying how she just, got resourceful with it. Is there anything for anyone else? Julie, you want to go ahead and share?
Routine.
You want to elaborate a little bit?
Yeah. So, well, specifically with working out and setting like goals for getting that done first thing in the morning, and it sets how you're going to feel the rest of the day. And that has just been like pre-injury for me. That was a big part of me, was having routine and doing my fitness right off the bat in the morning. Of course, now it's a little bit later than it used to be, but it's still my morning routine, and it sets my head for the day. And I really feel it on days when I miss it. Yeah.
I love that. I'm the same way. I really like routine. And even if it's like trying something new, I put it in the schedule, right? I schedule it in. So it's not like always throwing a really intense curveball at me, but it's still like it's new, but I'm prepared for it. So we are just gonna wait another second or so. Does anyone else want to share?
No, I'm ready.
Lenora, you're ready?
Yeah,
I think
no,
we're
I'm
ready.
ready.
So
I just have I have a quick question though. When you're a person that hates scheduling and you just want to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it.
it doesn't fucking work that way. Let's be real for
Okay, thanks. That's what I wanted.
All right,
That's what I
what's
needed.
up? Hey guys, what's up? I'm gonna go ahead and hit record on this. Sorry for my tardiness. Oh, it's already recording. What's up? I'm Jesi Stracham. For those of you that don't know me, I'm kind of aggressive, kind of an asshole. And it's not an asshole, I'm just honest. And that's the way it's gonna be. So let's have a real talk about our mindset shift. I really encourage you guys to stay for the whole time. Even if you don't agree with what I say, it's really good for us to take in views that we don't typically agree with. That's why I follow liberals on social media, plain and simple. But I'm just kidding, kind of. But no, guys, let's talk about our mindset, right? Because our mind literally controls our entire existence, and we allow our mind to overpower us, and we don't realize that it's not our physical ability that's holding us back. It's our perception of it, our view of it. I'm wearing this hat. It says it's all good because you know why? Life is all good. It's all good, y'all. And what we do is we allow our mind to take our thoughts and then just go rampant with it. And so like you have one thought of, oh, there's no way I can accomplish that. For example, Lenora, I'm gonna use you. I'm never gonna be skinny. And this woman she may not have moved the scale, but she's moved the inches, and she has a significant change that you can actually see, you can visually see. And so often we're so close to whatever it is that we're trying to work towards, whatever it is that we're trying to get in life, that we don't zoom out enough to see the progress that we've made towards that. I'm super guilty of this with everything in my life. I just landed a brand deal with Aerie. Really big, something that I've been working for not with Aerie specifically, but like brand deals that big. I've been working for a lot of years. A lot of you guys see my social media where it is now. I've been at this game for 6 years. Like I've literally built my social media from nothing organically, and it's just been consistent effort. And at Wheel With Me Fit, we have some core values, and one of our core values is about our habits and having solid habits. And so I want to remind you guys that your habits drive your existence. Your habits are the reason you are where you currently are in your life. And we often don't realize that. We just think about where we want to be, but we don't analyze the habits that are going to get us there. So for example, I'm trying to grow my mindset, right? What better way to grow your mindset than reading 10 pages of a non-fictional personal development book of someone else's experience of life? You can gain so much information just by reading books, and you look at a big book and you think it's so overwhelming, but when you break it down to 10 pages a day, now you're reading a book a month and you're gaining experience from someone else's experience. You're taking shortcuts. We all love shortcuts. We like to take the easy road, especially us that, that have physical limitations, have disabilities, because it's easier for us to take a shortcut when we have our disability that's causing all the long roads, right? So do yourself a favor, start reading nonfiction personal development books every single day, 10 pages. That's it. Just pick a book, read 10 pages. I personally recommend David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. I just finished it and it's got me fired up. It will make you feel like there's so much more you can do in life as a whole. So you have to remember, disability is a part of you. It's not your whole identity. And so often we will define ourselves by our disability. And that's who we are. Oh, I'm Jesi, the paraplegic. I'm Jesi, the wheelchair user. Forget that shit. No, I'm Jesi, that badass bitch that's out here making the life that I've always dreamed of. I'm Jesi motherfucking Stracham out here breaking down every obstacle that ever came. So redefine yourself. I'm going to use you again, Lenora. I'm Lenora motherfucking Lewis, and I'm out here running this household. Like whatever it is that you are running in your life, whatever it is that whether it's your business, your family, your fitness, whatever it is that you're running in your life, you own that shit. You run it. It's you. That is your identity. Whatever you're working towards, make that your identity, you guys, not your disability, not your limitations, not your limiting belief.
Belief is the most powerful thing that you can have to pour into your soul. You've got to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you have the power to make it happen. You have the power to create whatever life you want. But just because you believe it doesn't make it come true if you don't do the work too. You have to do the work on top of your belief. We think that our goals and our having a positive mindset and just a good mindset towards life is a linear path. There's nothing linear about life at all, y'all. Like, we're going to have peaks and valleys. We're going to struggle. We're going to have good days. And that's just kind of the way it goes. But the key is when you do struggle, you can't stay there. And too many of us stay in that spot. My first year and a half of being paralyzed, my first year, I stayed in bed. I had UTIs every single week. I'd get rid of a UTI, get another one because I didn't cath. I literally wouldn't cath myself. I'd wait until I pee. I refused. I hated every single ounce of what had happened to me. And I was miserable and I was sad and I was a victim. I'm like, why me? Why did this happen? This could have happened to anyone else. And I truly victimized myself, which is why I'm so passionate about being the victor of your life now, because I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been struggling. I've been down. I've been where I don't think I can have it. When I first started changing the way I ate, because y'all, I'm telling you, every Monday was Cheat Burger Monday from Five Guys. I'm not even lying. I had Five Guys burger every single Monday. I ate cheesecake. I could eat a whole slab of cheesecake by myself. I literally ate like trash. I ate a whole pint of ice cream. I had ice cream almost every day. I said it wasn't a good day unless you had ice cream. And, you know, that was where my mindset is. And it's so crazy because y'all, a lot of you guys know me where I'm at now and you don't know me from back then. And so when I started making changes, my family bullied me. And you see where I'm at now. My family to this day still bullies me for the way I eat. I get clucked at. I get made fun of. I get told that my food stinks. I get told that I'm going to turn into a chicken on a regular basis. I get laughed at for working out. Like my own parents bully me for trying to be fit. And the reason I want to bring this up is because at the end of the day, nobody's going to support you. Nobody. You have you guys. You have you. You have to support you. You have to be the one to show up. And that's how you battle that limiting belief in your head, is just starting to show up. Whether it's adding one solid habit to your day that's going to get you to where you want to be. I always recommend that 10 pages a day. So say you start reading 10 pages a day today, and that's the one thing you do to show up every day for the next year. I guarantee you'll be further than you've been since this up to this point. Within a year, I guarantee, just adding that one habit a day and do it every single day. You have the power to create whatever life you want to create. It's insane. I wish I knew this when I was still able-bodied, because I'd get here a hell of a lot faster, right? Like, but I didn't. So we have to really take control of what we have control of in our life and not let what's out of our control us. And that's where our mind comes in. Your mind is made to keep you safe. When you start doing things that make you uncomfortable, when you start acting a different way than you've acted your whole life, your mind is going to take you back. Ed Milet calls it your thermostat. So think about your house, right? You have your thermostat set at 70. Oh, it gets a little chilly out. I'm going to turn that thing up. But it will turn on and it will warm back up to 70, but then it kicks back off, right? That's how you work as a human being. You work like a thermostat. You'll turn the heat up to keep it to 70, but you won't go above that and you won't let it go below that. So you always have your baseline. So you have to re-identify yourself if you truly want to make long-term sustainable change in your life. And this is something that I'm still battling with. I still identify myself as the poor girl that comes from a truck driving family. A lot of times I identify myself as the whore I was before I was paralyzed. And you know, that's not who I am anymore. I haven't went on crazy sleeping sprees since before I was paralyzed, but here I am, you know, like still identifying myself by this belief of who I used to be. So that's why I really want you guys to dive into what beliefs do you have about you that might not be true anymore? What belief are you carrying still that might be holding you back? How are you limiting yourself? Because so often what we do is we'll blame it on everybody else and we won't take responsibility in our own lives. well, this person did this to me and they wouldn't do this. And then it made me just, it held me back in every aspect of my life. And I did not taking any responsibility for anything. Obviously, you're not saying that, but that's what it sounds like. You have to take responsibility for your own life, because remember what I just said. Nobody gives a shit if you make it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you get out of bed. Nobody cares if you go to the gym. Nobody cares if you eat like shit. Nobody cares, you guys. And I think that's where we really get messed up, is because we go out here and we search for everyone else's approval. And it's like, well, I need this person to like me, and I need that person to like me, and but they don't like me, and I don't know why. Why am I not getting the likes and the shares and the no, let that shit go. You know who needs to like you? You need to like you before you go out and get anyone else's like. Lisa Nichols says that everyone else's like is extra as long as you like yourself first. Think about that. Can you truly say you enjoy yourself? You like who you are as a person? You like, where you're going in life? Is that something that you can truly say? If it's not, you have to figure out why. We constantly, it's just like our medical industry, right? Like, think about when we go to the doctor, they don't want to dive into the root of what's wrong. They want to give you a pill as a band-aid, right? It's always a band-aid to fix the problem. We're not putting band-aids over our mind anymore. We're going to dive into it and we're going to fix the problem. Because when you dive into the root of why you're describing yourself as the way you're describing yourself, or why you're placing these limiting beliefs on yourself, why you feel like you can't make it, when you dive into the root of that, that's your game plan. That's what's going to tell you, okay, I can show up a little bit better here, here, and here. Oh, I need to not commit myself to this and that and that. Like, we commit, again, I say me again, because I'm very bad at this. I commit to way too much shit. I put way too much on my plate on a regular basis. And then what happens? You get overwhelmed and you're like, I can't do any of it. Nah, what am I going to do now? And you have to be very mindful. So I really want you guys to start thinking about every action you take. One of the biggest things you can do is a time log, a day in your life. Every 30 minutes, write down what you did the past 30 minutes. It makes you figure out, where am I spending time on social media that I shouldn't be? Where am I wasting time on conversations that I shouldn't be having? Is this adding value? Anytime you take action in your life, ask, is this adding value? Is this getting me closer to where I want to be? Because if it's not, then there's your answer about what you should and shouldn't be doing. So you have to stop carrying your baggage. We have all this emotional baggage. Again, I'm going to go back to pre-injury Jesi. I carry that bitch with me all the time. And I'm telling you, she was a bitch. And I'm just like, I want to just keep her pre-paralysis, but I have to address why I felt that way about myself pre-injury, right? So you have to address why you're carrying the baggage. Why are you holding on to this? Why are you not allowing yourself to develop? How are you able to grow if you're holding on and carrying all this extra shit with you? If you're clogging up your mind here with all of these extra thoughts and these things that aren't true, how are you able to even combat it? Because you don't have the room. So it's time, just like you do spring cleaning in your house, you got to spring clean your brain. You really have to dive into your thoughts and why you're having them. Become more inquisitive, become a philosopher in your own life. I don't give a shit if you're a philosopher about anything else, but like within yourself, you want to ask yourself why, dive deeper, gain an understanding, because the more understanding you have of you, the easier it is to be like, oh, it's just my mind doing that thing that it does again, where it tells me that I'm not good enough, but it's a lie. And you're able to combat your mind and tell your mind that it's lying to you. Your mind is your biggest adversary. And it could be your biggest ally if you use it correctly. But so many of us don't use our mind correctly. We don't do things to pour back into it to create an ally. We allow it to be our adversary, but then blame that on external circumstances. The way we view the world comes from up here. The way we view ourselves comes from up here. The way we view others' comments of us comes from up here. So when you take control of up here, you have control of everything out here. Is that right? Do you guys understand? Does that make sense? So no amount of skill, courses, abilities, anything will improve the condition of your life if you don't change your identity and if it doesn't align with your identity. So when I became a fit chick, I no longer was that chick that binge ate cheeseburgers and cheesecake. I am that chick that eats clean and does fitness every day and lives her best life, right? And I live by those. So you can't just define yourself as it. You've got to lead by example and live in that. You have to be the one to be like, I'm living this. This is who I am. This is who I'm defining myself as from here forward. I no longer am defining myself. And I'm making it sound like it's so damn easy. Y'all, this is not easy. There's nothing easy about this. It's going to take hard work. You're going to be uncomfortable and you're going to have to fight yourself. And I'm not going to lie, I cry a lot. I do cry a lot. And that's part of being human. And when you're feeling emotional, let that shit out. Be emotional, man. Too often we hide it. Even all the men in here, y'all need to get emotional too. Just because society says it's not manly, that shit's manly as fuck. Cry for me, baby. Like, come on, give me your real, honest emotion. I think that's what we are so damn consumed in trying to get other people's approval and to get other people to like us and for them to tell us that we're doing the right thing. Fuck that. Do what's best for you. Do the right thing in your own life. You define what the right thing is for you. Stop letting people that aren't living in your life define what your life is supposed to look like, who you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to act, what you're supposed to accomplish. Screw anyone else's opinion of you. You must become the type of person that you want to become by embodying and emulating that person. So what habits do they have? How do they talk? How they dress? How they manage themselves? How they manage their time? If you want to be a person that, for example, that shows up on time, schedule yourself I always put my doctor's appointments in 15 minutes early. So I have the time to get there. So that way I'm like, oh, am I going to be late? I'm going to arrive 15 minutes early. And next thing I know, I'm 30 minutes early to a doctor's appointment. I'm usually an hour late for, right? Like you have to emulate who you want to become. So give yourself tools, set yourself up for success, figure out what that looks like for you. Use your peer support. There's 20 other people on this call that also are wheeling the same kind of similar life you are. Lean on them, y'all. Wheel friends are the best friends. They give you support. They give you understanding that you can learn from them. They can learn from you. You can share experiences and gain understanding. And too often we think that we're alone in this box and that this path is just ours. But in reality, there's someone that's going through exactly what you're going through, whether it be financially, emotionally, physically. There's someone out there that understands your struggle. 100%. Lean on those people. We need human beings. Stop isolating yourself. Become very, very intentional in your thoughts and actions. So something that when I first started really kind of changing my mindset, anytime I would want to call myself stupid, I'd stop myself. And I refuse to call myself names. And there's some people that use name calling. I mean, I call myself a fucking bitch sometimes because I am a fucking bitch and I know it and that's the truth, but I'm not stupid. So why would I call myself stupid? Why would I call myself an idiot? Right? Those aren't truths. Yeah, I'm well aware I'm a bitch. So I'm going to call myself that and I'm going to be real. Be real with yourself, right? If you are aggressive, if you are a certain way, label that, understand it. And if you don't like it, work to improve it. If you do, keep it. Like me, I like how aggressive I am. So it's staying, right? And it doesn't matter because other people don't like it, but that doesn't matter. I like it. So that's the thing, you guys. If you like a quality about yourself that other people don't like, screw them. There's almost 8 billion people in this entire world. Every single person I've met, I haven't liked. How can you expect every person that meets you to like you? It's not realistic. It's just not realistic. And so we've got to stop chasing likes and chasing people's approval for the way we live our life. Screw that. It's human nature, yes. But I'm asking you to push it off. If your family doesn't support your dreams, fuck them. Because most people, their family doesn't support their dreams. They don't understand it. And then when you make it, they're like, I always believed in you. No, the fuck you didn't. No, you didn't. But it's cool. You can keep lying, but no, you didn't. And that's the thing. You don't have to have other people's approval to do what makes you happy. Just do it. Just do it. Do what's going to make you happy. Get clear about what's important to you and express gratitude for it every day. Gratitude will carry you. The more grateful you are for how full your life is, the less room you have to focus on what it lacks. I'm going to say that again. The more you focus on how full your life is, the less room you have to focus on what it lacks. Gratitude, you guys. Your life is a hell of a lot fuller than you think it is. If you have a roof over your head, a wheelchair under your ass, and food in your stomach, medical supplies to drain your bladder, and medical supplies for your independence, you're doing a lot better than a lot of people across the world in our situation. So realize that. Realize how much you truly have. You might not be where you want to be, and that's okay. But have gratitude for what you do have and how full your life actually is. It's gratitude is what carries me when I don't want to. When I'm like, fuck this, I don't want to do any of this anymore. I remind myself, I go back to my gratitude jar and I'm like, all right, what do I have to be grateful for? How full is my life? Why am I, like, let me just like remind myself how blessed I am real quick before I say, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Cause I'm sassy, y'all, sassy. The more you hone in on what's important to you, and express gratitude for what's important, the more you're going to experience it. So, oh, yeah, go ahead. Can I unmute you? I don't know if I can or not. Did it work?
Hi, I was gonna say, yeah, having appreciation or gratitude list every day is like super important. Like it really like can start your day off really good. Like just take 10 things you're like grateful for or appreciate about what's going on around you or what you have.
Yes. Dang right. It makes a massive difference too. I'm gonna go ahead and the more that you express what's important to you, the more you have that gratitude for it. Like she said, if you do it at the beginning of the day, you're starting your day off right. Because it's like, man, my cup is so full, and you're starting your day with a full cup. I read every morning, I meditate, and I really set myself up for success. That's how I fill my cup. Do something for you first thing in the day. Plain and simple. Like you've got to do something to fill your cup before you look at your phone, before you start talking to anybody. Spend 30 minutes alone, whether it's journaling, expressing gratitude, reading, whatever your morning thing is, do something to fill your soul before you start the day, before you look at the phone, before you scroll social media, before you look at your messages, your email, any of that shit. Before other people start demanding your time, you demand your time. You pour into you. You give back to you. Because if you start the day with a full cup, you have a lot more to pour from, and you can give a lot more of yourself during the day, y'all. Like that's what we don't realize. We try to give, but we never give back. And so make it a non-negotiable. How are you going to pour in yourself? Again, gratitude, reading, meditation, journaling, whatever it is. To truly speed up what you want to get out of life, you need to put intentional action to the thoughts that you're having that you want to accomplish. You have to put action behind what you're trying to accomplish. This is a solo journey. No one, I can't emphasize it enough. Nobody can complete the journey of life for you. Ed Milet says the stronger your beliefs or the more emotionally charged an issue is to you, the stronger your confirmation, bias, and selective recall is. So the more, this goes back to defining who you are as a person, right? The stronger your beliefs of who you are, the more you're going to recall that, and that's who you're going to be. So it's going to be a process to change that belief of who you are. But the more consistent you are with that, the more you can create that as making it a solid foundation of this is who I am. So for me, when it comes to dating, I don't see the negatives in a person due to selective recall, right? Like when you're dating somebody, you don't see all those red flags because you're all in lust and like everyone around you sees the red flags. That's an example of selective recall. Just think about that within yourself, right? Like you have all these red flags, but it's you, so you're ignoring them. And it's like, wait, maybe I should take a look at these, but I'm just going to keep ignoring them and maybe they'll go away, and they never go away. Check out your red flags, address those damn red flags, and let's move forward. When you push yourself, that's when you level up. When you get uncomfortable, the more uncomfortable you are, the more you're going to be able to level up, you guys. I stay uncomfortable. Like on a regular basis, I'm literally full meltdown crying because I'm just like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is crazy. Who the fuck do I think I am? But then I show up and then I remind myself who I am. So I want you to remind yourself who you are on a regular basis. Sarah Foley always says, come up with a name for yourself. Breeze is Bree Babe. Jackie's not on here, but Jackie's right there. Jackie's is Jax. I'm Jesi motherfucking Stracham. Like, what is that name that brings out your inner badass? What is that name for yourself of like, yeah, that's my badass bitch. Like me, again, Jesi motherfucking Stracham. She's a bad bitch. Jesi, she struggles sometimes, but Jesi motherfucking Stracham, she a bad bitch. So who is your bad bitch? And that's for the guys too. Who's your bad bitch? What version of you is the baddest? We've got to dive into that so that you can recall that. So when you're feeling less than, when you're feeling like you can't, selective recall, we're going to call on that bad persona of ourselves. We're going to call on that person. So I want you to think of that name that you would call yourself in that situation where you're like, yeah, I'm a badass. I've got this. And you're going to recall that when you're feeling less than and like you're unable to do it. Exactly. Reclaim your power. Yes, Jose. Yes. Again, you must fill your cup before you can give to others. I hit that before. You've got to have a routine, y'all. Like, and I don't even care if you switch it up. Like this morning I switched it up and I worked out and I switched up the way I read my books. Like, do something, please, to fill your cup, because again, that's going to allow you, the more you show up for you, the more confidence you have in you, the less that your mind is going to limit you. And I think that it's a very interesting concept and hard concept to wrap your head around, because you're like, wow, wait, I control me and my destiny, but like not, what about all the shit that's happened to me? Like, yeah, you actually do control your life and where it's going to a certain extent. Obviously, I believe in God, and I believe God plays a large role in that too, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Let's go back to peer support, right? You need to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. You want to be surrounded by people that are also working towards something, whether it's in a similar space or something different. One of my best friends is a Canadian immigrant here in America, and she came to America, started her own touch-up detail paint business. And now she has the whole entire area of like Boston and New Hampshire. Her and her husband run that for touch up paint. They've hired 3 employees. They've been there for a year. She's literally slaying. That's an example of somebody that's like, I want to emulate. I want to have my business at that point. I want to be just slaying in my area and my respective growth, right? So like I surround myself with people that I want to be like. It's hard. It's hard to find those people because they're so busy doing boss shit. And it's hard to get in those people's circle. But when you do, don't let go of them. The more people that you can get tight with that are where you want to be or going where you want to be with a similar mindset, the stronger your mindset gets. It's that support. You are what you consume. Any of you that scroll support groups a lot, I recommend staying out of them. They get really dark. They get really negative sometimes. And the more time you spend in that, the more negative you see about your situation. The more you're like, ooh, I don't want to do this anymore. This is really bad. And that's when that feedback loop of like, this is worse than what it actually is, kind of goes rampant. And it's like a wildfire when one negative thought will take complete control of your mind, because humans are more attracted to the negative than we are the positive. You ever notice the news? It's because that's what sells. Good news hardly sells. People get tired of good news. They want the shit. And so your mind's the same way. Your mind wants to constantly process the negative and consume this negative, and then it allows it to take over your whole thought process. So the more that you show up, the more you pour into yourself, the more you combat that, the less that happens. And your inner circle, John Wooden says, you'll never outperform your inner circle. So you want to be sure surrounded by like-minded people. Think about all the relationships you've had in your life. I think about Nicole. Yes, Nicole said that's why she feels like she stopped going out to support groups as much. Yeah, I feel that, dude. I so feel that. Support groups are just they're brutal sometimes. And it's like, that's what I was going to, think about all the relationships you've had, all the situations you've been in, all the interactions. And I know you can think of one situation where you've left and it's completely drained you. And you're just like, I have what was that? And then there's been situations where you've left and you've had so much value added to you. You want to try and put yourself more in those value adding situations. You are the sum of your relationships. Your inner circle plays a massive role on your success as a whole. And the happiest people, you guys, as we get to the end here, the happiest people operate out of their imagination and their dreams, not their history, not their current physical circumstance. So many of us let our physical being, because society has told us for so long that we're less than and that we're incapable. And you have the people that smile at you and wave when you're in public. And it's like, would you do that if I was walking? Why are you waving at me? I don't know you. Or the people that like run back to the door full sprint to make sure to open it for you and, grab your chair from you because they're just helping you get it in the car. Society thinks we're weak. Let's play them. Use that to your advantage. Let them think you're weak. So when you show up and you're not, you prove them wrong. And you feel even more badass because you're like, haha, you had an idea of who I was. I proved you wrong, fucker. Like, that's how I feel about people, because people will constantly try to say, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for your situation. Like, what good is that doing for anybody, right? It doesn't make sense to me. And so really don't operate where society has limited you to. Don't operate under society's idea of what you're capable of. Operate in your imagination and in your dreams. Dive deep in that. Get really connected with them. Really understand the why. The more you understand why everything in your life, whether it's your mindset, why you're dreaming what you dream, why you want what you want, why you're in the relationships you're in, whether it's friendships, love relationships, like really dive into the whys in your life and every aspect of your life. The more silence you sit with yourself, really uncomfortable too, the more you can learn about this within yourself. I do recommend 5 to 10 minutes of complete silence, just listening to your thoughts every day. Oh, it says my internet's unstable. Can you guys still hear me? Are we good? Can I get a thumbs up if I'm good? All right, perfect. Yeah, so just really, really dive into why. Why are you thinking this? Why do you want this? Why do you want these dreams to come true? Because the more understanding you have of that, the more your actions will show up. Because when I don't feel like doing shit, I have to remember, why am I doing it to begin with? Be more in the here and now, you guys. Don't worry about what could happen, what might happen. That we let the might haves, what could happen, control our entire existence too much. Don't worry about that. Start being in the moment. Let it, what is, and what might happen, might happen. But worrying about it now is only causing stress and anxiety. The more that you take control of your runaway mind, the more power you have in your own life to accomplish whatever life it is you want. The more power you have to create confidence. Confidence is created by showing up one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. Don't look at the big picture of where you're trying to go. Break it down minute by minute if you have to. If you're struggling right now and you're just like, I'm trying to get through the day, take it minute by minute. And the more that you just focus on making each minute the best it can be, the more cumulative your life will be, the best it can be. These are all the tools that I've used. And I'm not perfect. I have a lot of improvement to go, but I definitely want to just take some time and really dive into this with you guys, because so often I've been asked of, how'd you get your mindset? How'd you get to where you are? It's reading other people's experiences and showing up one day at a time, every single day. The more you show up for you and stop giving a shit what anyone else has to say about it, the more confident you are in what you can do and what you will do. And I just want to encourage each of you to go out and get whatever fucking life you want to get, because life is too short not to. You are capable. The power of time is your best friend. Give it consistent effort over consistent time, and you'll get there. I promise. I promise you. And if you ever have any questions, want to bitch, anything, y'all DM me. I message back. I'll send you a video. I'm like, you know what? I feel the same damn way today. Fuck this shit. But we're gonna show up anyways, aren't we? Does anyone have any final comments, questions, concerns, feedback, additional tools, any of the things? Don't laugh at me, Lenora. Did you like it? Did you like it, Miss Giggles?
Just wanted to say thank you. I love what you had to say, and yeah,
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for coming too. I really appreciate seeing your face.
yeah, I like seeing your face.
Thanks.
Where's your water?
Oh, it's behind me. I'm gonna and no, Jose, it's not good water either. It's just like crap. I know. I'm gonna take a quick photo real quick if y'all don't mind, just for Wheel With Me. Let me take these participants away, the chat away. If y'all don't mind turning your cameras on, that would be cool. I'll give you guys a second for those that have limited dexterity. Tanya, where you at? There you are. Oh, I yelled at her. All right, and 3, 2, 1. Good, thank you. Anyone have any final closing thoughts? No one?
I will. I'll jump in.
Oh,
I want to say thanks,
Bean.
Jesse. Yeah, man, I'm so glad I could make it. I can make it today and tomorrow. Can't make the rest of the week, but I love what you said. Everything you said about changing your mindset. I had to go through the same thing too, of really letting go of the negativity and adopting gratitude. And that's really when my whole life shifted, was the moment I became grateful for what I had instead of being like sad about what I lost.
Exactly.
And it took me meeting a really somebody with a higher injury than me to really put things in perspective, right? And yeah, so that really helped me. And writing gratitudes every day really forces you to look at your day for things to be grateful for, which forces you to be in a good mood. You can't be grateful and upset. But I like what you said about, owning yourself, and if you're having a bad moment, let it be a moment. Don't let it ruin your day. So, good job, Jess.
Thank you, Bean. Thank you. And I like what she had said too about, I want you guys, my biggest inspiration when I'm feeling shitty and down, and I know this individual personally, I've known him since I was in the hospital. His dad reached out, and like one of my really, really good friends. His name is Drew Claiborne, DrewClayborn. Everybody needs to go follow Drew and just show him love and support. But like, this man is the most powerful human I've ever met. C1, complete injury. So he can shrug his shoulders, no hand movement, nothing. Man graduated from the University of Michigan with a bachelor's, I believe, in engineering. Worked at the Ford Motor Company every single summer. Runs his entire care team, literally not even lifting a finger, but manages his entire care team because he needs caregivers. This man manages his entire care team, not able to move a finger. Like, what excuse do we have? He runs an entire nonprofit too. Like, this man is one of the most inspiring humans I know, just because of what he can accomplish. And I want you guys to think about that. Like, you're pretty freaking blessed. And it's sad, like, as cliche as it is, there's always someone that has it worse. And remember that shit. Like, you're fucking blessed to be where you're at right in this moment. You're blessed to have the opportunities you have. You're blessed to have whatever function you have. You're blessed to be alive. Own it. Go live the life you're capable of living, and stop giving a shit what anyone else has to say about it. And figure out why you're feeling the feelings, why you want what you want, and why you're going to go out and live that life. I'm Jesi Stracham. Thank you guys for joining Wheel With Me's Empowerment Week. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm so grateful to see you guys every single week we have. Be sure to sign up for the other courses. We have amazing presenters all week long, 6 p.m. Eastern every single night, completely free to y'all. So please come join, tune in, learn some things. Thank you for an hour of your time on this Monday night, and I will see y'all soon. Thank you.